This is a review
Of
Superman 2.
what year?
1981. No, I'm sorry, 1980.
It's one of those.
1980.
Yeah, 1980.
You know. Well, on Max it said 81, and then on IMDb it said 80.
Yeah.
So December 30th,
I don't know.
31st.
Like a theater release versus
Yeah,
a
that-
movie,
that might
maybe?
be.
I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. The release date is June 19th, 1980.
How did we feel about this movie?
Movie. I'm a little higher on it than what you two are. Mm-hmm. I'll just go ahead and throw it out there. I would put it in A tier.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Wow.
It is definitely, I feel, is other than the theme and some of the Clark and Lois moments, we got 3, and then the non-bullshittery of him reverse spinning the world to save Lois, which I get. We
Shouldn't
got
have
3
been allowed.
villains. Yeah, we get 3 villains, each equivalent in strength, speed, not necessarily intelligence, because that one guy, gets stunned for one turn with the Superman cellophane.
Oh, I hate it. I hate that you even talk about it.
But other than that, I mean, the villains. Lex came back. Less Otis. I feel it again. It was still a better movie all around.
Yeah, they left Otis in the prison.
Yeah, he left him in the prison.
His fat butt was too heavy.
Yes, there were some parts that I didn't really care for. Again, when Lois is so sure that Clark is Superman, she falls into the water.
She jumps into the water.
Yeah, she jumps into the water. You got that whole scene. He doesn't. But then, within minutes, he's revealing himself.
Yeah, the next scene.
That he's
like they've dried off, and then
go to the hotel room.
within minutes. Oh, you got me. That's
Yeah.
me. He like fake falls into the fire, and his hand isn't burned or nothing.
Burned or singed, and neither is his clothes. So I guess that invulnerable aura is right around
Probably
him.
wrapped in all of that cellophane.
I'm convinced
Yeah.
he can transform his normal clothes. No, he's always wearing a Superman suit. He can just transform his Superman suit into normal clothes.
Oh, like
Remember, he went into that
like Clothesbeam.
Yeah, Clothesbeam. Piccolo. Yeah.
There were some bullshit moments. Like, what was it? The telepathy finger
Yeah,
moving
apparently
things.
Superman has the ability
Telekinesis.
to.
But this is before
Those
like
things.
Infinite Crisis, right? So he can just have whatever superpowers he thinks of, right?
Yeah.
Like Infinite Crisis was late '80s.
I think 86.
At the very
Yeah, so
end
was-
at the very end of the movie, he kisses Lois, and she forgets he's Superman, right?
It had to been the it had to been whatever lipstick Poison Ivy had in Batman and Robin.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, but then again, I'm gonna say the fight scenes were not compared to Man of Steel or
Oh no, this is
like
80
like 30 years before, but
But versus the first movie, we didn't really have fight scenes.
Yeah.
It just showed him doing.
it just showed him flying around really.
like
Wait,
miraculous things.
So it's Crisis on Infinite Earths, not Infinite Crisis. That was different.
Oh,
event.
my bad.
I forgot to say.
Yeah.
And it was 85.
So still before they were going through buildings, they were throwing buses at each other. It really was, and I don't recall anything about Superman 3 or 4. And I don't even know if I've ever actually seen them.
Yeah, we'll
but
get to those.
it was a super powered fight.
It was.
It showed him being exhausted, fighting all 3 of them at once. Him having to go back and forth.
Probably his
them
first
figuring
challenge.
out. Yeah. Zod overlooking that, and
Listen, his first challenge was actually trying to survive without powers. Okay, they
Oh,
flew
right, yeah.
to the North Pole. We assume it's the North Pole, where his
they come out and say,
Fortress
I
of
think it was at
Solitude?
I think they come out and say that it's in the North Pole.
he goes into the molecular chamber, takes his powers away immediately after confessing his love to Lois.
I mean, for
Didn't even
whatever
ask
reason,
her, talk about her or nothing.
Flora
Flora.
was like, if you're gonna be with a human woman, you have to be human.
No, you don't.
Like, I don't know why they have those rules from Krypton.
I don't know. What are they going to do? Enforce it? Somehow?
Yeah.
No. But anyway, loses power, and they walk back to Metropolis.
And Carjack.
Carjack? Yeah. They somehow come up with a car, and I guess they have infrastructure up there in the North Pole.
You get to the diner. That's where Clark gets his ass whooped.
Yeah, someone takes the seat,
Yeah,
then proceeds to kick his ass.
just for taking his seat. Man, us humans really do have a short temper, huh? I like later on he goes back to the diner and the dude just so happens to be there. And that whole time I was thinking, man, Superman and Lois did the diner scene a lot better.
Yeah.
That's something you gotta watch. That
Did he do it in normal clothes? In Superman
the second,
and Lois?
yeah,
He did.
yep. Tell him to step
I mean,
outside.
If he's trying to keep his secret identity, you don't throw the guy around the diner in your normal street clothes.
We've all done it. I don't know what you mean. Okay.
okay.
You don't know I was a
I
superhero.
guess I've never kicked anyone's ass in a diner before.
But going with that same thing, where why would he have? Why would they even build a chamber that he could take away his powers in the first place? That's like on Codename Kids Next Door. Why would you build an airplane with a blow up the engines button?
Right?
But he goes back later because he ends up fighting the bad guys and he can't fight them, so he needs his powers back. He goes back to the exploded structure. He finds the green crystal.
Flips it.
The next scene, we see him as Superman.
Yeah,
we don't actually get to see him get his powers back.
Oh,
True. They want to be in. They want you to be in suspense about whether or not he actually got his powers back. I can understand. Well, I'm not saying it was good suspense.
oh man, it was a fun movie to watch with people.
Yeah, definitely.
What was your like 3 dislikes? Well,
Just
to
3?
narrow it down to 3. Okay, we'll go 5 and then 3 likes.
Oh man, I don't know. He threw his S. He ripped his S off his chest and threw it and wrapped someone up in cellophane.
Yeah.
That was one.
That was the sticker that you peel off new electronics,
Right.
and then you casually throw it away.
I've never had it work like that.
And there is a reason why no other comic or movie has done that since. I think. I don't know.
He has the
Really
power
should.
to make people forget kissing them.
Finger telekinesis.
Finger telekinesis. Like one thing I didn't like was how they just hand waved Lois and Clark traveling back from the North Pole after Clark gave up his powers. That kind of got on my nerves. What about you, Phil? What did you not like about Superman 2? You liked it a lot more than we did.
I did. I did. As far as it was, maybe I feel like I mentioned it before. The Clark and Lois moments, just a majority of it. It seemed to flow better when he was Superman, and with the Lois stuff.
He's not really likable. Clark is.
Yeah, I
When
don't
he's
believe he's
pretending-
supposed to be. Like people,
Yeah.
it could be the facade about where he's the goofy and so goofy, clumsy. I'm sure there are better words to describe how he acts when he is Clark. Mm-hmm. And that way you kind of look over him and don't give him a deep look, because Lois in the first movie did. And even in this second one, when she looked at him and right after Superman, she was like, she just put it together, like she saw past the glasses.
In hindsight, it took her a really long time to figure out.
Yeah, what was the time length in that? Did we ever get a length of time, how long he'd been working at Daily?
That's something else I kind of dislike. They don't really explain the timeline.
Yeah.
Like from the first movie, it goes from Krypton. Well, let's just start on Earth. It goes from like Clark landing in the field, to him in high school, to him to the North Pole, and then being Superman. All within the span of like a few scenes, really. Don't really know how old Superman is at that point, but you just know that he's been working at the planet for a little while.
He holds up as a good, I'll say, good Superman. I even said it in the last review. I forgot how well he looked for the part. Mm-hmm. What about you? What do you think, Brian? Nobody cares. So there were, with the Clark and Lois interactions in this movie being my least favorite parts. I can see that too. I mean, the man instantly he lost all his powers, and then the first thing he does, which is naive of him, maybe, is he obviously still has that sense of honor, but he doesn't know. I mean, he's never bled before. Like whenever he gets beat up through that
He's never had
plywood,
a struggle before.
what was it, the plywood wall or something right there? It cost thousands of dollars. Yeah,
thousands of dollars to fix this. Yeah. Paper mache.
yeah, the paper mache. And then the truck driver just ends up leaving right after.
Yeah, he's never really had to struggle until that point.
No.
Didn't really know what it was like to be like a living or a mortal man.
And then it's that scene right there, right, where they see the news on the television, to where I do like this better than the first one, but the cuts in it, for as far as telling the story, it was not good. I mean, we get there unexplained how they're walking from North Pole to some small diner, which maybe there's always a diner scene. I mean, like, what was it, Man of Steel, Superman and Lois, Superman 2.
Always seems to be a diner scene.
Yeah.
Or something.
There are those cuts right there, and they just leave you wondering, like, what? The others, and then he immediately, he finds out about Zod and company taking over the world. And I guess it'd been going on for a minute because the man.
Yeah, because Zod and his two henchmen are just out there doing stuff.
Yeah.
They took over a small town.
I mean, he was like, "Where have you been? Living under a rock?"
Yeah, right? Yeah, pretty much.
And then he immediately just starts trekking back
I guess he hoofs all the way back to the North Pole.
off of didn't get to eat.
It did show him, like, one scene of him walking down, like, a lonely road, like, snow-covered. Like,
Him scooping some
foot
snow.
of snow. Him trying to hitchhike, but no one picking this guy up in what has to be sub-zero temperatures.
Dicks.
Yeah, right. But yeah, that was, by that point, Zod had already, I guess, conquered the world, conquered America, so he conquered the world, right? And just flew to the White House and said, "Hey, this is mine."
Now the Zod and company scenes, not points, were better than several other parts of the movie. Mm-hmm. Him going and taking the White House, they kept thinking Earth was called what was
Houston.
That? Houston.
Yeah. Planet Houston.
Yeah.
You know what he didn't say as much as I thought he did? Kneel before Zod.
Yeah. I mean, he screamed it.
Yeah, he did. I feel like he said it numerous times, but
it was like maybe 3 or 4.
Twice, maybe. I was looking for it. It could have been a different cut of the movie too. There's that other version. But let's get to the ranking part. Where would you rank it?
I still would say, with as many flaws as it does have, it's got as many positives and more than negatives to me. Again, the fighting, the Superman parts really rocked it. It does seem to have a strong beginning. It kind of falters in the middle parts, but apparently it was an editing nightmare.
Yeah, like it wasn't put together good. Like, it wasn't edited good after it was shot. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So would you put it above or below the first Superman?
I still would like. I believe it is better than the first Superman movie.
Let's see. The first Superman movie we put in B tier.
Yeah.
You think this one deserves to be in B tier, but in front of?
I mean, it's still B tier.
Still B tier.
That would still be B tier to me.
Okay.
It's not a decimal B.2 or something. I don't know.
Personally, I would put it in C.
C?
Yeah. I have to control my negative responses. I tend to be more. I tend to be harder on movies than most, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess I'm too picky.
I could understand that. I only see this movie being eclipsed by Man of Steel, to me.
Oh, wow.
So of the 6, and we got
Superman Returns?
S, Superman Returns. Man, that's a boring movie.
Superman Returns is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I don't remember. I don't remember it too much, honestly.
It's a boring movie. You have a few minutes. He gets shot in the eyeball. Stops the bullet.
So I'm just going to settle it in B tier for now.
Yeah,
We might reflect on it later. Like, once we watch all the
We'll do a-
the rest
we'll do
of them, you know.
yeah, like right before the movie, right before the new Superman movie.
Yeah.
We were like, okay, maybe I rearrange. This wouldn't be necessarily definitive, but
Re-tier.
I'm not as harsh on Superman 2 as both you, Brian, and Charles, but I can easily I can understand with it being B tier.
Yeah, that's where the rest were now.
Hey guys, I'm Philip, and you're Zach.
Yes.
And this is Time to Game.
Yes.
And this is our Superman 2 review of from 1981.
Because we totally forgot to introduce ourselves. At the
Yes, we
beginning of
did.
this.
And Brian and Charles. Nope, Brian, we don't need to hear you.
No, Charles, settle down.
Okay, please.
They totally didn't leave because they had to go to work in the morning. All right, everybody.
Thank you all so much for listening. I love you, and please keep on gaming.